Hello and welcome to another episode of Creative Conversations. I am your host, Briana Elmore, and today we have yet another amazing guest to the podcast. This is someone who I personally love, admire, and appreciate, and I'm so thankful that she was on this episode of the podcast. But let me read y'all a little something about her so y'all can know who we're talking to, okay? We got another doctor on the pod, okay?
Heavy on the doctor.
We got another doctor on the pod, okay? So we have Dr. Natalie Williams. She is an author, a nationally recognized speaker, and the founder of Nat Will Speak. Her mission is to empower and inspire college students and millennials across the country to lead with the legacy in mind. And she believes that finding your purpose is one of the most important things a person can do. As a native of the South Side of Chicago, Natalie has received a bachelor's degree from Central Michigan University, Fire Up Chips, and a master's degree from Illinois State University. And she did so with no student debt whatsoever. Currently, and she's a doctor. Where you get your doctorate degree from, girl?
The University of Missouri in Columbia.
Okay. There, okay. Okay, because I had to update the bio real quick, but because that wasn't on the prompt. Please help me welcome Dr. Natalie Williams. Woo!
Hello. Thank you so much for having me, Bri. How are you?
I'm doing excellent now that I'm here to talk to you. In addition to all those other things, guys, she's also my Snapchat bestie. So there we go.
That's how we became besties. So yeah.
That is. I love her so very much because we went to Central Michigan together. But listen, I feel like you can call it education up until like you get that bachelor's, but when you continue on past bachelor's, it's got to get called academia.
Yeah, I think it just presents a level of stress that for the average human, it's not. We're not built for that.
Yeah,
we're not built like. It's a level of stress that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. Like I just, to the point that when I hear people talk about doctoral programs and stuff, I kind of cringe because it's like I'm having flashbacks of that experience.
Yeah.
I feel like I handled it with grace, but I am still trying to get that stress kind of.
Yeah, are you trying to adjust at this point? Because it's like you've been in school your whole life.
That part.
Okay. And then it's like then you've been in like super school for years. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you've been in like your like all these degree rearing levels of education for years as well. And so it's just like was there like a initial like struggle right after post grad?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. I went on like a 3.5 sabbatical. Yeah, like I would go bike riding, I was journaling, I was traveling, I would just lay on my couch and just be. I would lay on my couch and watch my favorite YouTubers who I call my boys.
Mm-hmm.
I was just trying to get that up off of me. So yes, 100%. And I always say like, I feel like I ain't complain enough where people thought it was like easy, but no, it was a lot. And I really had to like lock in with myself. And I promised myself rest when I got done. So when I got done, I'm like, I don't want to hear the words PhD for a long time. So but
you deserve to not have
to. I'm getting around to kind of getting back to normal, but it was a little soul searching to figure out who are you without accomplishing the next academic goal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, that has to like that's real. Like, you know, and I've seen different instances that I have not experienced it, but I've seen different instances where people like just go and get another degree for something else. You know what I mean? Like because they just don't understand what to do with themselves after like reaching a certain height with something, or they want to get more things to push towards, because it's like that adjustment period is not really something they can grasp.
Yeah, I had to, and I'm just, I had to reach a point of living without, oh, well, let me go work on my dissertation, or, oh, I'm on the road for my book and I'm writing papers in my freaking hotel room, or I'm the first one to get on the plane so I can start working on this paper. Like, just, I dedicated so much to it that I wanted to now give myself reparations. So.
Yes, and you rightfully deserve. Like, was there any period where you kind of felt like guilt for resting after it was done?
No,
but like, did you feel any way like
no,
that?
No way. Not at all. Not at all.
Never.
No. I sacrificed so much, Brie. Like, I sacrificed so much that no, I'm like, I earned this rest. So no,
Listen,
nope.
and you deserve all the good things. Yeah. You're a good person, period. But like, after that hard work and stuff, you certainly deserve to do whatever it is you want to do.
100%.
All right, so you're the first guest I'm actually doing this with. First of all, you're our first author guest. Okay. To my knowledge, you're my first author guest. So that's big ups to you. But you're also my first guest that has that I've interviewed after creating some like segments, just to kind of add some like levity and keep it, figuring out this is creative conversation. So it's like, we're going to talk about you, but just talk about creativity in general. And so in this first segment is going to be the creative inspiration segment. So that's just what we're just going to talk about something that maybe recently. It doesn't have to be like this week, but if it happened this week, perfect. But, or something that's just been like inspiring you creatively, or something that you saw that was creative that you were like, I actually really admire and appreciate that.
Oh man, what has inspired me lately with creativity?
Or it doesn't have to be creativity. It could just be something that inspired you, period, and made you want to go harder in, your field. And honey, you got a lot of fields. So, something that inspired, or, just kind of like sparked like a creative chord with you.
This is gonna sound a little cheesy, but anything with Nipsey Hussle.
Really?
I listened to his music a lot. I was a fan or a supporter before he passed. And I think of him often. I actually have some Nipsey Hussle artwork. It's huge. I took it down off the wall because I wanted to be in the background, but it's like this Nipsey page.
Girl, it could have been Beyonce's right here. I'm so serious. I have like 2 Beyonce paintings.
But I
love her. And that is beautiful, by the way.
Thank you. I didn't know it was gonna be that big, but what he stood for, and I think of him often. I think of him often because of him having this mindset change and him wanting to bring everybody in on that mindset change to show them how they too could change the world. So I think of him often, and it makes me want to typically go harder to change the world. It makes me also think of the Tupac quote. Tupac said something to the point of, I may not be the one to change the world, but I guarantee you I will spark the brain of someone that will change the world. So that tends to creatively inspire me.
Especially as an educator, like you got to like that quote specifically. That's got to hold some weight.
It does. So yeah.
I think that's amazing. I love that. And like, I love to be able to like unearth like some like past interviews that you didn't see or whatever. And you get to hear like his words and get to hear him say, speak life into his community, life into, people in our culture, period. You know what I mean? You get to hear him kind of impart his wisdom. But what I do love is that Lauren also has been carrying on like she's good in her own right? And she certainly doesn't owe anybody any responsibility, but she's kind of carried on, and like when she speaks, it's like it really encourages me to listen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So that was beautiful. What was mine? Mine was seeing all them beautiful Black women win them Emmys, girl.
Yeah.
Oh, that was amazing. And they all deserved it. And they
Yeah.
all were very unapologetic about it.
Yeah.
It
So
was
can
amazing.
writers get Emmys too?
Mm-hmm.
You should write your Emmy speech.
Girl, I should. Because listen,
Yeah. We
this
need
is like,
that.
I should, and then just have it. You know what I mean? Have it ready to ride and
Listen,
update it.
be
Yeah, I
also
never thought
ready.
to do that. I never
Yeah.
thought to do that, Natalie. I never.
That's your homework.
That is my homework.
By the
Actually,
end of
that's
the
that's
year, like
homework
let's
I
get it.
want.
Yeah.
I was like, this homework I want. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it'd be like, I don't know if I'm gonna do this assignment. That's amazing. Wow, look at you. Well, we know what just inspired me just now. You.
Yeah.
Because that was so beautiful and it was just so important. I was like legitimately had tears almost. You know
Mm.
what I mean? And just like, and the fact that with the exception of Euphoria, because they go a little hard, but I appreciate them and what they do with that art.
Mhm.
They are very transformative with that show. It's just too hard in the paint for me.
Okay.
But like the other shows I consumed about, like Lizzo's show. I loved that show. I loved everything about that show. It is on Amazon Prime. What is it? Watch Out for the Big Girls. So good. So good. And then Abbott Elementary from day one, I was
Locked
locked.
in.
I
Yeah.
was locked in and completely committed to everything that Quinta and anybody else on that cast involved with that production. I was locked into whatever it is that they was gonna do
That's
because I
beautiful.
was gonna be there to support it. So,
Yes.
so yeah, I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. Next, random acts of creativity. So, is there anything you did creative, like So, how do you pour into yourself to keep your creative juices rekindled? You know what I mean? Like, despite if you're doing anything that I feel like just living is creative. And I feel like Black people, just in who we are, period, we're
Yeah.
creative people. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
even if it's like, I think, like, to me, it's really funny that everybody's grandma, like, would repurpose that country crock tub.
That little tub, yeah.
Yes. But I think that that's creative because now that's your Tupperware. That's what we
Yeah.
about to roll with. So I think Black people just living are creative beings. So how do you pour into yourself in what capacity to help you stay like going and creative and motivated?
Yeah. Quiet moments.
Mm-hmm.
I have a pace that I'm always readjusting as needed.
Mm-hmm.
I never wanted to be the person of going here, there, here, there, and never any time to kind of stop and process. So, because there were a lot of times where I was that person.
Yeah.
I've been really intentional about finding a healthy pace of doing things, and that allows me to be creative because I have time to sit and to think. And when an idea comes, I can jot it down in an instant. And I always try and keep myself open as like an ideal like drop. I don't want to say like drop in my spirit. So it sounds super
Mm-hmm.
deep, but like it'll drop in my head or drop in my spirit. Give myself time to like really
Listen,
sit with.
say what it is, girl. If it's dropping in that
Yeah.
spirit, I'm
So
with
I'll
you. I
say
hear you.
like if something drops in my spirit when I'm like going to sleep,
Mm-hmm.
I have a journal and a pen right by my bed. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll instantly write it down. And I've done that sometimes where it's like pitch black and I'm not even writing like in a straight line. I look the next morning and it's like,
Listen.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what I'll say I do. How about you?
As of late, I have been just allowing myself to feel things. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Feel things that maybe I was previously avoiding, or just it's okay. Like it's okay to feel whatever I feel and giving myself that permission to feel these different things. You know what I mean? At once, or, you know, in conjunction with other things. I'm just allowing myself that, but then also like doing something. So it's like, okay, I feel them. So like what you said, journaling or just speaking and getting some things out, venting it out. I have to relieve it from my body, crying, if that's what you need to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
do what
you
you
have
gotta
to
do.
get it out. And so it's like whatever form that it comes out in, I'm allowing it to do that. You know what I mean? So good, bad, and ugly, you know, and just allowing myself to just kind of deal with it and get through that instead of like being avoiding or, you know, trying to distract.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? So it's just like I'm trying to honor that place because it's like I'm honoring self when I allow myself to feel these different, whatever it is. If it's angry, if it's happy, if it's sad, if it's whatever, allowing myself that space to feel that and move on from that. Like, okay, well, how am I going to move? That's how I feel. How am I going to move with that?